You know what people think social media management is? Posting a cute picture, throwing up a hashtag, maybe dancing on TikTok once in a while. You know what it actually is? Strategy, messaging, analytics, video production, editing, caption writing, keyword research, platform optimization, scheduling, community management, reporting, and doing it all consistently enough that it actually grows the business. If you're a business owner trying to do all of that between client calls, payroll, and, running your company, no wonder you're exhausted. At Big Voice Social, we don't just do your posts. We become the voice of your brand online. We build the strategy, create the content, and make sure everything you put into the world actually sounds like you, just amplified. Because social media isn't a hobby, it's a marketing engine. If you're ready for it to finally work like one, head to bigvoicesocial.com. I'm Shane, and I built this company to authentically represent other businesses on their social media platforms. Our team is a team of professional communicators, and that's what we do. So give us a call or reach out at bigvoicesocial.com. That's bigvoicesocial.com.
So you're telling me I can buy stuff because I am out of moisturizer.
You can buy from the website. You cannot buy from Sephora.
Thanks, Mom.
It's the store I have a problem with, not that brand.
That's
not
fine,
the brand.
but thanks for paying for it. Love you.
No, I didn't say I was going to pay for it.
Welcome to the Social Dialogue Podcast. We're a mother-daughter team, both working in the world of social media management.
Join us as we share our different perspectives on life today, including trends, fashion, friendships, and career, and how social media impacts it all. Together, we bring two perspectives to one conversation.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Jenna.
And we're excited to bring you this new episode of the Social Dialogue Podcast.
It's
You look great.
Well, thank you,
I
dear.
love your pink. It goes with our theme.
There we go. Yeah, I match. Oh, that's perfect. All right. Well, let's just go. It's one of those days.
All right, so we'll start like we normally do. Hi, Nana.
Oh, hi, Mommy.
How are you?
I'm tired.
You're always tired. Every time we record something, you're tired. What are you so tired from?
Everything.
Oh, come on. Get real.
I'm always tired.
Wait till
You gotta
you
get revved up.
worried.
We're in the job search now, so you're going to need some extra caffeine without sugar. So there's a sugar thing with that. Well, I want to introduce you to one of my oldest social media friends today. Not that she's old, but we have been friends on social almost since the beginning from when I launched this business. So first, let me introduce our guest, Anh Nguyen, and then I'll tell you a little bit about how we got to know each other. So Anh partners with nonprofits, impact startups, and purpose-driven businesses to create marketing roadmaps driven by clarity, community, and purpose. But here's where it gets interesting. Her own journey didn't start in a boardroom. It began in a refugee camp where her Vietnamese parents planted the first seeds of resilience, resourcefulness, and heart-led leadership. As a proud first-generation American, she's turned those roots into a purpose to help brands tell their most powerful stories to spark change and make an impact in their communities. And we know that much like both Jenna and myself, Anh is a true connector. So Anh Nguyen, founder of Amplified Marketing, welcome to the Social Dialogue Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. And I love the fact that we're all kind of matching in the pink. I didn't even think about it. To be real, I was like, what do I have clean in my closet this morning?
I feel that.
It's been that kind of month, right?
I get that kind of year, that kind of decade. Absolutely. Well, and we are recording this on a Wednesday. So, on Wednesdays we wear pink. So
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
that's one of Jenna's favorite movies.
Absolutely apropos. I love it.
Jenna, we go way, way back to my days of mobile chat. And I don't know if you remember this, but there were times when I had to book it out of your violin concerts or your play practice. I had to get home because at 9 p.m. on Wednesday nights, I was the sidekick in mobile chat way back when tweet chats were everything. Tweet chats were fun. They were a way to communicate back and forth. We had multiple people. There were times when we had over 100 people on mobile chat. And my role was to sort of be the sidekick. So Patrick, my client from Ready App, he was running the tweet chat, and I was over here on the side making friends with Anna and with all the other people who came on, and we had this whole crew of women, and we started spa chat sort of on the side. Like, it was ridiculous. We were having like a whole side conversation, but we were tagging both spa chat and mobile chat. And Patrick was like, what are you talking about over there? He's like, we need to be talking about mobile applications. And we were like, no. Then we started talking about chocolate at some point, and then we met.
It became this whole thing.
Right?
Because you and I would come on, and then I think it was Jeanette too, and we're like, man, what a week. Wouldn't we love to have a spa?
And Linda, remember Linda? There were so many women on there. It was awesome. And then we got to meet in person at Content Marketing World in Cleveland. And that was so fun. And we went to a chocolate cafe, you, me, and Amy, and had so much fun ordering all that.
Oh my God, that place was so delicious.
On a side note, just sort of on the softer side of personal stuff, knew Jason Spencer online. And so she was there with us when we were all grieving that tragedy. And she has also been a wonderful ally since October 7th. And I appreciate every time you send me a message and every time you're like blown away at like, is this really happening? Yes, it really is. So I appreciate that. So I'm glad, Jenna, that you get to meet her.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm excited.
I feel like I'm not doing enough to be an ally even. So I appreciate you saying that.
Every little message matters. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Hi, Jenna.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to kick things off. So you focus not just on social storytelling, but content in general. How do you describe content, and how do you advise clients when they are building their social strategy?
Well, where do we start? So it's funny that we, in the marketing world, we bandy that word about like it's nothing, right? Content. But when I say that to my clients, oftentimes I kind of get this blank look like, oh my God, what are you talking about? And then I have to back off and I go, okay, anything that I write for you, anything that is produced, whether it is written, whether it is video, whatever, that falls under that umbrella of content. And that's what I mean when I say content. So it could be social media, it could be a video clip, it could be long form video, it could be a blog article, whatever we're writing to help get your brand out there. And that's typically how I explain it. And then they get it.
That's great. And I know lately you have been taking the stage. You've been using the mic. I'm seeing you online, on live streams. You've been on stage at conferences speaking. So when you do that, what kind of messages are you sharing with the audience who's there? And I mean, I guess it kind of depends on who's in the audience, but what kinds of places are you sharing your message?
Yeah. And I'm going to answer that in a second because I think I just forgot to answer Jenna's second part of her question. Sorry, Jenna. This is what happens when you're 55
Wait,
and
you're so
you have
fine.
way too many things going on. And so my clients are mostly in the B2B space. And for social strategy, it's more about brand awareness, helping them to amplify the thought leadership of the executives or company leaders. Most of the clients I work with are not heavy lead generating needers. I'm making up words as I go along. They don't have a heavy need for leads. And so it's not my favorite space to play in, but that can definitely be part of the social strategy. Most of my clients are just still in that space where their brand awareness is super important to them, and thought leadership helps them to get their sales team in front of people as opposed to turning out leads constantly. So that's the question. And then as far as speaking, I love speaking, and I have always loved to help educate whoever clients in whatever space I've been in, whatever industry I've been in. I think there's always a need for educating people. And right now, my big thing is helping for-profit companies understand what being purpose-driven means. And when I mention purpose-driven, immediately that thought goes to nonprofits. But as a for-profit company, you can absolutely be purpose-driven, and how it can affect your bottom line and how it can help not only your brand reputation, but it can help increase your sales. And it doesn't even have to be something so just nebulous like we're going to save the world, we're going to save the whales, whatever. It can be as simple as helping small businesses to level the playing field in, say, human resources so that they can compete with larger companies and corporations who have that type of resource or budget. So that's what I've been spending a lot of time on speaking. I did that at Content Marketing World last year. I was so excited to have my workshop accepted. And the American Marketing Association is having me do a similar workshop in May.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And get this, people who attend and participate are getting CEUs for it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow, that is
workshop?
incredible. Congratulations. That's
Thank
huge.
you. Yeah.
When we met at the Content Marketing World in Cleveland, I spoke, I had a session, and Jenna, my session was about authenticity and how to be real on social. And the examples that I gave, I actually showed the video from when I got Bob Costas to congratulate your brother for his bar mitzvah. And I don't remember exactly the angle. I had a whole shtick, but I don't remember it now what it was. But everyone was like, how'd you do that? I'm like, pure stalking.
Exactly. It was so fun. Your mom's session was so fun. And, and
fun.
she's so dynamic anyway. I mean, it was just great to be in the room with you and see that. But yeah, the whole Bob Costas thing kind of blew me away. I went, but that's so Shane. It
was really fun. It was a fun conference and everyone's in orange and it's a fun conference. So it's great. Yeah.
Love that.
I know. One of these days I need to come back. It's always been during a hard time for me to travel. That one particular year I was able to do it. But other than that, it's been a hard time. Yeah. So we'll see.
So switching gears kind of a little bit, I understand that you recently spoke to a class of undergrads about social media. So we'd love to just hear more about your experience doing that.
Love speaking to students, college students, and it's really fun to see what they're learning and the difference in what we do in practice and from what they're learning. And these students were they were just amazing. They were engaging and they asked really great questions. And the professor started off the class with having them share their Instagram account. So he had asked all of them to think of a brand, right? So something beyond being a student, something beyond what client work they might get, and show the little reels that they had started already. Not really little. So there was a young woman there who was taste of bubbles or something. It was around champagne and Prosecco and bubbles. I was like, bingo, you and I can be good friends, right? And so it was a lot of fun to see what they were working on. And I went, oh my gosh, they're so far ahead of us already. Because Shane, I mean, when we started out, Instagram was still very photo driven, right? There was no such thing as clips, video clips really, or stories or reels. And these students are creating these amazing things and editing these clips in great, just innovative ways. And I thought, I'm so behind. But that also gives me, hope for the future of social media. And so that was a lot of fun to share with them. But their professor was very intentional about what he would like me to share with them. And that was the fact that they were going to be graduating some of them were graduating this year, some of them were graduating next year because they were junior and senior level. And that while all these things that they were learning in class are important and putting into practice are important, it was just as important, if not more so, and you may agree with me on this, to make those connections already and to get connected and talk to people and build those relationships. Because as we know, oftentimes it does boil down to who you know, whether you get that job or you get that project or that client. And I really appreciated that he was already thinking of that for them. Because sure, I could come in and talk about social in the real world, but they're already learning this stuff. So what are things that they can't learn that are that I could help share?
Yeah, I mean, I say all the time, my business is online, but I make business deals in real life. And that cannot be online. It has to be face-to-face with a handshake.
Yes.
That's just how we do it. Even if it's, a virtual handshake, if it has to be, over Zoom.
Absolutely.
But, there's just so much to these connections. And, I know Jenna's working on that right now as she's applying to jobs. She's constantly like, go to LinkedIn and tell me if you know anyone that works at this company because I'm applying to a position there. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about AI. We were just talking about college students and how they have to get off social to have, real life conversations, which I think their generation is actually really good at it. I think they really get it. I was actually listening to a podcast this morning. Our friend Nina Badson has a podcast called Dear Nina, Conversations About Friendship. And she interviewed this guy. He's a professor and he studies friendship. He just did this whole thing of people in their 20s. And Jenna, it's really interesting about like how and why friends come and go in that decade, because everyone's very transient. Everyone's at different stages. Jenna knows someone her age who just got married and had a baby. And then, she's got friends who are very, very, very far from even dating anyone, so it's like it runs the gamut. And she's got friends who have jobs lined up for May or June. And then, people like her are looking for a job. And then there's people going off to med school or law school or grad school. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that one of the things he was saying is that this generation, they get it way better than we do. Like, they put their phones down. They engage in real life. They get a bad rap. They get told by their grandparents that they don't do that, and they do.
A lot.
Meanwhile, one of her grandmothers missed a flight once because she was playing Words with Friends. Missed the announcement. So there's that.
Oh.
Okay. So I want to jump a little bit to AI because it's very prevalent right now. We're all using it. I'm using it to help me with content strategy. I'm using it to say, here are all my thoughts of what I want to give a client. Can you help me organize this better? And it's still using my words, but it's organizing it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, in Amplified Marketing, your agency, how do you use AI and how do you not use AI? Or where do you kind of draw the line?
Yeah, just like you. I use it for those processes that you've mentioned as well. I use it as a brain dump, right? If I have an idea around content, but I just need help putting it together and literally just putting in my thoughts, and then I give it the prompt of what I need it to do. I've spent a lot of time teaching it what my brand sounds like, what my brand voice and tone sounds like, and teaching what my clients' brand voice and sounds like, who are worried about security. I get it. It is a concern, but I also am very intentional about the level of, I guess, the account level that I've purchased, because it's not sharing my information, essentially. And so when I mentioned that before, I've had, of course, people go, wait, it's sharing all of your clients' information. Like, no, I'm not on the free version. Let's just leave it at that. Yes, AI. Every time you turn around, people are talking about AI. I almost feel like it's AI just overwhelm, I think is the best word to use, because there's consultants who are trying to help people. There's people who are trying to figure out how to use AI for themselves. And it's just a lot. And I feel like people just jumped on this bandwagon immediately. And it has its uses. Don't get me wrong. ChatGPT is my friend and is my workhorse. And I use it for helping to outline my presentations and putting my thoughts together in a good flow. I help it to write my content. I go, okay, here's the piece of content that I finalize. Give me an inspiration for the visual, right? For the image. And so I do all those things. I even ask it for recipes.
I do too. Yeah. I was once making brisket on the big green egg, and I'm terrible at the big green egg. So I'm like, I need you to tell me, like, step by step exactly what temperature and exactly how many minutes. And it was like down to the detail. So the brisket came out great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Exactly. I'm like, I have these ingredients on hand. Find me a recipe, because I do not want to go back to the store.
That's so smart. That's really smart. Jenna, do you have that fear about AI, like security-wise? Do you worry about that at all?
No, because I don't really put in any personal information in there. I mean, it knows enough about me to like write a bio about me, but also it'll write a bio about me, but it's not always accurate, because it's mostly like I use it like mostly for work. So like when it was saying like the thing outside of work, you can see me, and then it was things that I do during work. It wasn't even it wasn't like FaceTiming my friends and family or shopping. It was like, wait, I can pull it up. It was so bad. I was like, this is not outside of work. It said, outside of work, you'll find me deep in Adobe Creative Cloud, building my portfolio, analyzing social trends, or planning my next creative project. How was that outside of work?
That's all work.
Exactly.
So outside of work.
So clearly my AI only knows me as work. So far I'm not scared, but I also know where to draw the line.
No, that is a good point, Jenna. I just, I don't know. People are either scared of it or have not utilized it fully. And even as much as I use it, I know that I'm not using it to its full capability. I had a conversation earlier talking about what processes and things that I could automate, essentially, right? Just get it started. And I said, I would love to be able to do some of that, but I don't even have time to think about it, much less write a custom GPT for it at this point. And so that's where I am with the AI usage. I'd love for somebody to come in and just say, hey, these processes that you keep doing on repeat, this can be absolutely a custom GPT, and here's it written for you, right? So anybody out there, fairy godmother.
That's really cool. Yeah. We could do a 2-for-1. Yeah.
Stuff like that. But and then another tool I really love, and I think I might have mentioned it to you before, is Opus Clips. Are y'all familiar with Opus Clips? It takes your long form video and it creates little short social clips for you. And it is such an intuitive tool that I really don't have to give it a lot of parameters. So it comes back with about 10 to 15 clips for you, and it'll grade it for you on how well it thinks
Riverside does that too. This podcast platform totally it rates at like 99%, 70%. It's funny though, sometimes the ones that are rated 70%, I'm like, this is more on our brand. Though, like sometimes the 99% clip is like too technical for the audience.
Yeah,
so I don't use it.
Yeah. So try it out. I don't even remember what it costs now. It was only like $20 at the time and literally the first time I tried it, I went, here, take my money, because it's just such a time saver to be able to take this long form content, especially, with your podcast and the video podcast. And when I was live streaming a lot, I would take those and chop them up, and it just saved me a lot of time. I am still using it, and it's a tool that I still recommend because they've just continued to improve on the platform.
Very cool.
Yeah, good to know. What are some of the brands that you like to follow that you think do a great job of storytelling through content?
Gosh. Oh, I just came across one called Olo, OLO. So they are POS essentially, but so fun. And for those of us who are a little bit of a data geek, they do. So let me back up. They are a POS and data warehouse kind of thing for restaurants, for restaurant brands. So they have 800 plus whatever thousand brands that they are their customers. And recently I talked to them because I was looking for a fantastic social example that was in the B2B space that was fun and not boring, because B2B tends to be a little boring, right? There's not a whole lot of leeway to do a lot of fun things. And since it was close to the Super Bowl, they shared what they'd been doing the last few years. So one of their customers is the Great American Cookie Company. Are y'all familiar with Great American Cookie?
I love Great American Cookies.
Okay, so
I am a huge fan.
Cookie cakes that they
I inhale them. Inhale.
Okay. So this is so fun, and I love this, and I hope this gets into the final, because I'm telling you, go follow Olo, and then connect with Haley Vong, who is their VP of content and all that. She's fantastic.
Jenna, go connect with Haley Vong.
Vong, VONG, yes. And if you don't find her, let me know. And so in their company Slack channel, the data people, I don't want to just continue to call them data geeks and insult anybody, would just drop in little tidbits like this. Did you know that not only are people buying the cookies, they're having messages written on it, like go Chiefs, go whatever, right? And that year when they started sharing all this data was the year of Kelsey and Taylor Swift. And it was just, all out there. And so Haley went, what could we do with this data that they keep sharing? It sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, she did this manually for a little bit. So she asked them to pull all the data of the messages. And for 3 years in a row now, the cookie data has been able to correctly predict the winner of the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Oh my gosh. That's hysterical.
Is that not hysterical?
Yeah.
And so on the Friday before the Super Bowl, she does a short little recap of what's going on, what the data is telling them, and all this stuff. And then the Monday afterwards, she shares even more data and says, hey, we did it correctly, right? And so this year, again, they predicted it. So if you follow Olo's LinkedIn page, you can see the video clips and stuff like that she's done. And that's only platform that they share that on, because they're B2B.
Brilliant.
Is that not brilliant?
Yeah.
And so follow Olo. I love them. Everybody says Wendy's, but Wendy's is so blasé, right? I'm all like, whatever.
They were funny on Twitter. You got to give them to them on Twitter.
Absolutely. Kudos to them for the things that they did on Twitter. Oh gosh, what was one that I came across recently? He was very fun too, now that I'm thinking about it. I do appreciate Southwest Airlines social media. The Tampa airport, have y'all followed them?
Yes. They do great stuff.
they do fantastic stuff, right? With that big flamingo and oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I love it.
I'll tell you another one that's similar to that, like same kind of organization, is our Metro Police Department, the Louisville Metro Police Department, LMPD. They are hysterical. Like,
I love it.
I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know why they do this, but they're very funny on Twitter. Yeah, and then their tweets get shared on Instagram. They're hysterical.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
It's really funny. And the National Park Service, also very funny.
That's exactly. That was my next one that I was going to share was the National Park Service. Now, a lot of this doesn't have to do with my B2B,
it's
except for Olo, but it's just fun to follow them and go, well, how could this work possibly in another, in another vertical or something? So it's inspiration and it's fun. And you just need something fun in your workday because we're just, underwater content all the time.
Absolutely. Okay, so speaking of content, you shared something on LinkedIn last week and I learned something. It was about the Lunar New Year, so happy Lunar New Year. I did not know that Vietnamese people celebrate that. I thought it was only Chinese. So I learned that from you. So thank you. And this is the year of the fire horse.
Yeah.
And this is what you wrote. In case you don't remember, this is what you wrote. Becomes burnout. So can you talk more about that? Because it was such a poignant message.
Well, thank you for bringing that up because I really wanted to celebrate my culture, but also have something that was a meaningful message, especially on LinkedIn and thinking about business-wise, right? And we talk about burnout quite a bit, especially among women. And I don't think we talk about it enough, actually. But just a really fun fact real quick is Chinese, Vietnamese, Koreans, Mongolians, Tibetans, and I think, and some communities in Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand that celebrate the Lunar New Year. And I say this because Thailand has a separate New Year later on. So I know when I mentioned that Vietnamese people celebrate too, they're like, then why is it just called Happy Chinese New Year? I said, I think that's a Western construct. It really should be the Lunar New Year, right?
Yeah. Well, I learned something new. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. I'm glad. So just thinking about, you have all this energy and you have all this excitement and I'm thinking of myself, like when I have a new idea or I'm going into something that I love, I still have to be grounded with a solid plan or a foundation. Otherwise, it's just not, going to work out and I'll be the first to admit, there have been many times where I'm like, oh, that's a fantastic idea. Let's do it, right? It's kind of that shiny object syndrome. And so that's the intent I bring behind sharing that is like, yes, it's great to have this excitement, it's great to have this fire, this passion for the things that you want to do. But let's remember to stay grounded with a solid foundation, solid plan to help make it be as successful as possible.
That's a great message. Thank you for
Love
sharing.
that.
Especially for the new year.
Yes.
Yes. So as we wrap up, we want to know what's next for Amplified Marketing? What are your goals? And specifically, what kinds of clients should contact you for your guidance? And of course, how can they reach out?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking. My goal this year is to grow a little bit more. I've intentionally maintain my solopreneur status for about a decade because I didn't want to grow fast. I didn't want to have to deal with a team. I know you have a successful team, Shane, so I'm going to have to lean on you for some advice and tips.
I definitely have a learning curve still. And there's definitely moments where I'm like, how am I going to manage this? But we get through it.
Yeah. So, because I'm getting to the point where I do need some help to manage the day-to-day, the content creation, because I'm out there speaking, I'm out there connecting with people to work on my business and not just in my business. So that's my goal this year is really to be intentional about that, find the right contractors to help me because I am a little bit type A where it's my clients, I need to hang on to it. So I need to find people that I trust. And so that's what my goal is this year and really continue that mission, I guess, if you will, of helping businesses understand what purpose-driven means, being purpose-led and why it matters, especially with the generations that are coming into those buying positions within companies, thinking about millennials, Gen Z. Jenna, is that you, Gen Z?
Yes.
Okay. So for you guys, having a purpose, standing up for something, having values is very important, is a deciding factor on who you buy from. For my generation, Gen X, it's a nice to have, but it's not going to keep me from buying from somebody unless they're just absolute like douchebags. You can edit that out.
It's a good word. It's a good word. We'll keep it.
Completely lacking in morals, right? Then I'm like, no. But standing up for something like, say, the climate is important to you, or standing up for just whatever purpose is important to you, that does affect your bottom line, because these are the decision makers for companies in the future. I looked up the stat, and it's something like $170 billion of buying power for these generations. Yeah. So that's nothing to sneeze at.
Wow. Yeah.
And so when I hear that, companies go, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, billion with a B, right? And so that's part of my mission, or continued mission, for this year.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's been a shift, and probably because I have a daughter who likes to shop, but I feel like
You're welcome.
the decisions that she makes and the brands that she likes, I'm like, oh, what's this on Aritzia? And I'm too old to be shopping there, but like there's things on there that I'm like, ooh, I can wear this.
Yes, Mom, you can pull off anything.
She totally can.
I need the bottom half of the t-shirts. That's what I need. I can't do the teeny tiny
I
t-shirts.
my wire.
But I also have like good morals when it comes to shopping. Like there's certain brands I won't shop at.
Yes, that's true. And there's some that I won't pay for if you shop there. So I know that Sephora is the only place you can find some of your stuff, and I'm pissed off at them.
That's not true. I can find it on their
there.
websites.
Fine, then buy it there. But we're not shopping at Sephora until they cut ties with Huda. Anyway.
No, I was not a big Sephora shopper before anyway, because I just didn't appreciate their customer service, or was lack thereof, right? I'd walk into the store and I felt like they were judging me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So good to know. They will definitely.
So you're telling me I can buy stuff because I am out of moisturizer.
You can buy from the website. You cannot buy from Sephora.
Thanks, Mom.
It's the store I have a problem with, not that brand.
That's
not
fine,
the brand.
but thanks for paying for it. Love you.
No, I didn't say I was going to pay for it. I didn't say that.
I think you did.
I didn't. I just bought you a Veda. So
I'm
no.
going to say neutral.
Even the Veda was free.
Yeah, I was free because of all the points I've earned. Here's a fun fact I buy all my Aveda stuff at our local salon, and then I earn the points, but I don't actually know how to redeem them. And anytime that like I've tried to log in to redeem them, they don't have, it's all like sets. They don't have like, I just want this shampoo and this, whatever. Oh. So she logs in and then just like stacks, because I have over 100,000 points.
I didn't stack it. I called you. You asked me to stack it. And
she
then
did.
wondered, the shit showed up at your door.
Meanwhile, half the stuff they forgot to send. So then I had to like get on chat with Aveda, and I said, first of all, you forgot to send these 3 things. And 2 of them are hers, and I'm supposed to take them to her Friday. So now they're overnighting them. But they also sent me a broken thing of hairspray. And the guy's like, send a photo. So I did. And he said, you said it was broken. I'm like, look at the picture, you moron. The top of the hairspray thing sitting on the table. Yes, it's broken. So anyway, side note.
Anyways, case in point, you did it buy me a Veda. Thank you for the moisturizer.
No, I'm not fine. I just bought you a spring break trip. Give me a break. Okay.
And thanks for the toner.
What's the brand? What's the brand you use, Jenna?
I use Caudalie toner and Summer Fridays moisturizer.
Okay. Not familiar with either. I'll have to check it out.
The Caudalie toner is a good one. I use it as well.
Caudalie made my skin so much better. Their acne serum.
It's awesome. It's a French brand, and it's very clean, paraben-free. Okay. Fun fact, I have a really bad habit of forgetting to change the default address when I buy things. So I once sent, it must have been a gift card to our friend Sari. I sent her something from Sephora. And then a week later, I logged on, ordered my toner, and accidentally sent it to Sari. And she was like, thank you so much. Because she is like a Francophile. She loves Paris. She's been there several times and she loves it. And she's like, thank you. I'm like, why would I send you toner? If I was going to send you a gift, I'd send you like French perfume. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Don't feel bad, because I just ordered 2 things and it got shipped to my mother's house.
Oh, I do it all the time. At the beginning of the school year, My son in the dorms in Florida got a big box from Athleta of like 4 different sizes of extra small women's puffer coats. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And then I had to teach him how to return it.
And
Oh my God.
he had to learn. He thought he didn't know if he had to fold or cut the label.
Yeah, he didn't know how to do it. I had to send him packing tape from Amazon. Like, Jenna and I are constantly sending things back. We know how to return. He's never had to do this before. He doesn't buy anything. All right. So I know you've taken up like lots of your day with us today, but this has been really fun.
This is so fun. No,
But before we go, as I always do, and I know we talked about connections before, but any other advice you would give Jenna as she really begins to dig in, because it's about March 1st and she is really digging into her job hunt so she can get off my payroll and buy her own damn moisturizer.
Also, I can just buy it on Amazon, so I don't even have to buy it on the
doing that.
website.
Your mom's going to change the login, not give it to you.
No, I use my own Amazon account.
He's going to
get my credit card out of there. Get it out.
There you go.
Okay, so seriously, any other advice that you would have for her?
I already mentioned, making those connections. Even if it's just people you're like, I don't do business with that industry. They're not in my industry. Why would I connect with them? You just never know who they know. So definitely I wanted to double down on that. And I know this sounds very cliche, because I'm sure other people may have said, is that don't stop learning. You can never stop learning, especially in social, really, right? Because things change all the time. But just even for me, I've been in different verticals and different industries, and everything that I've learned in every role that I've had has helped me down the road with something else, or wherever I am right now, because it may feel like, what would I ever take that use for? I still use it. And so don't ever stop learning. And really don't be afraid to take a step back even. I moved back to Houston when I was 31. And at that time, I should have been a little bit more established in my career already, right? But I did not hesitate to take a sales support role at the Houston Chronicle, because that was my foot in the door. And 6 months later, I got my own territory. I became a account exec, all that stuff. So I didn't think of it as, oh my God, this is beneath me. It's just never beneath you. You'll learn. And so I always share that with college students, because I don't want them to think at this point in my career, I should be moving on and look down on something. And then don't look down on the people who help you either, right? So the admins, the people that often get overlooked, because you might get locked out of your office one day and they happen to know you because you're the only one who stops to talk to them.
That's a great point. Yeah. Kind of like when you left your first grade homework in the classroom and had a meltdown, and we had to go back, and the janitor knew me because I always said hello. So he unlocked the door and let us in, and Jenna got her homework out in first grade. Mrs. Bray never knew. Oh, yeah. We had to go back to school. I said, this is the one time I'll do this all year. And we did. We went back and you got it. It was like, it took her 5 minutes to do this homework. But it was, freaked her out. She didn't do her homework. She left it at school.
I imagine so, right? So
as she got older, she didn't do that very much. But if she ever did, I was like, well, then you're getting up early and we're going to school early tomorrow. We're not going back to school right now. So, yeah. But it didn't happen very much.
You get a one-time pass.
One time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all good advice. And this was really fun. And thank you so much for joining us. I love seeing you. It's so fun to stay connected. We have known each other, I think, since like 2008 or 2009. I mean, we've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
So
it's been almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love keeping up with everything that you're doing and seeing that you had launched this podcast. And I'm really honored that you asked me to be a guest.
Thank you.
It's been so fun talking to you both. And, Jenna, I know you're going to do great things. How can you not? You have Shane as your mother, right? And if I can help in any way, let me know.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day. Well, that was fun, Nana.
Super fun. Now I'm going to go on Amazon and buy all this shit.
No,
thank you.
Stop buying things. No. Stop.
I need toner and moisturizer.
That's why you get an allowance. The end. Stop spending money. You're about to find out how expensive you are. Okay. Listen, I got one for you. I don't think we've done this one before. You ready? This person, I don't know what school this is. She says, hi, I am at family weekend, so that they were visiting. She says, my freshman daughter mentioned to my parents that she and her roommate do not lock their door when they sleep. I I guess the roommate gets up and goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night and doesn't want to get locked out. Okay, first of all, what? Secondly, the mom is asking the internet, what can I say to my daughter to convince her that this is not okay and she has to lock her door without exposing that my parents told me what is going on? So she told her grandparents, the grandparents told the mom wants to talk to her, and the mom is asking the internet how to advise her daughter that leaving their door unlocked in the dorm overnight is a dumb idea. Ready? Go. What would you say to this?
Nothing. There is nothing to say. This whole thing is dumb. It's dumb that she left the door open. It's dumb that she didn't tell her mom, and then it's dumb that the mom wants to interfere. So I think this whole situation is stupid
What
and
kind
unsafe.
of people are leaving their doors unlocked in the dorm at night? Why
Also,
would anyone do
why
that?
can't you just agree to lock the door, and if she has to go to the bathroom, she unlocks the door? It's not really that hard.
Take your card or your phone or your key or whatever the hell it is. Like,
Yeah.
don't be stupid. This is a life lesson in living alone and growing up. Don't be stupid. Okay, so that's my Facebook message of the day.
Hi.
It's don't be stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to Pilates.
I did Pilates today. We did a bunch of new moves, and it was a really good class, and my core is going to hurt tomorrow, but it was good. I also walked the dog 3.66 miles this morning.
Wow, she's tired.
Yeah, you'd think she would be. She's tired at the moment, but she's had some crazy in her today. Nuts. Yeah, so I told Dad, never again am I getting a big, heavy, strong dog like this. And he said, I have been waiting for you to say this, and I am prepared to tell you that the next dog we get, I will pay to ship it to camp to get it trained so it doesn't pull on you anymore. I said it could be a few $1,000s to do that. And he said, whatever it is, I want my great big labs. So
Wow.
I know. There you go. So this week we have learned that labs are important to him, and he is happy to pay to not wait in line. Because last weekend, your brother, I appreciate that when your brother's on his own dime, he's using wait and save on the Ubers or the Lyfts or whatever. But don't do that when Dad's in town. Dad doesn't want to wait. He is willing to pay a premium to not wait. And then he bought the tickets into the bar. You had to pay like $11 a person for entry. So he did that earlier in the day. But as we were walking into the bar, I'm yelling into his ear, get the line skip, get the line skip, get the line skip. So I'm like, you need to learn where the priorities are. He doesn't want to wait in line, and he will pay for it. So now we know what Dad will pay for and will not pay for.
Well, I think I know what he'll pay for.
What?
When I ask him to pay for things.
Yes, well, it's different with Ryan. You're his little girl.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know yet. I got an idea for your graduation gift, and he doesn't even know
What?
about that.
What is it?
I can't tell you.
Is it designer?
No, it's not designer. I'm not getting you a Louis Vuitton. Calm down. I got you one in Paris. I'm not getting you another one.
Yeah, but a Prada or...
No, I got you a Louis Vuitton, and I don't have a Louis Vuitton. You have a Louis Vuitton from Paris, and then you have the little wallet that we split when you were in California. So that's enough. It's not that. It's not a trending type of item. It's something you'll have forever. So you'll see. Okay, have a great day. Enjoy Pilates. Work hard, and I love you.
Love ya. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Social Dialogue Podcast. If you liked today's conversation, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and a review, and share it with a friend.
Keep the dialogue going with us on social. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Jenna.
Thanks for listening.